Hi, this is Chaplain Gerard. I like to give honor to whom honor is due. That is a Bible verse. And I want to honor the ministry in North Carolina called Word of Faith Fellowship. Before I do that, I want to say a little bit about myself. My name is Gerard, and I live in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Of course, you've heard about George Floyd. In fact, he was a person that worked at the Salvation Army. I'm a chaplain there. I'm retired from there. But he was a person that worked at Salvation Army. So I had good pleasure to know him. I'm very sad about what happened. And then, of course, the last 48 hours, we've had 20 shootings, um, 12 one night, and 7 or 8 the last 24 hours. Two have died, and they have not found the killer of the person who killed both of them. So right now we need your prayers. But I'd like to share about how I'm honoring Word of Faith Fellowship. I've known Pastor Sam and Jane Whaley for about almost 40 years, well, before, or 37 years, and they have been a blessing in my life. I've had the honor to be uh, watching the services online for the last 2 years, and they have been a blessing to me. I have learned a lot, even though I don't go to the church there, but I'm learning a lot from them. A couple of things I've really learned is gratitude. I'm very grateful for my life and things that God has been doing in my life, and they've taught me to be very grateful and thankful. And the other thing is they have taught me is to inquire of God and to love truth. That's one thing that I am so grateful, because they really are based on the Word of God, and they're loving people. I'm able to call them at least every day to, almost like checking in. My friend Douglas is part of that church, and I'm so grateful for them because of their love for me. They are really watching the children growing up the last couple of years. For example, last week at the service, there was a little boy, African American boy, that ran up to Pastor Jane when she was giving like announcements, and the little boy said, can I dance for the Lord?" And it was so special to me. And Jane put her hand on his shoulder or back and said, "Yeah, you could dance for Jesus. You could dance during worship." And the children just love Pastor Jane, and I'm so grateful that they've been part of my life all these years, but especially the last couple of years, being able to watch services. The sad part is that there are people that have left the church, and um, I don't know what the reasons were, but they left the church. Especially this one big family left the church, and they've been really going to the media and the papers, and they've been saying things that are not true. There's even a book that's out there. I don't want to name the book, but it's totally deception, lies. There's no truth in it. Everything that I've been watching for the last couple of years, there's nothing to those stories. There's there's no truth of anything in the stuff that's being said about the church. These are people who have decided to leave the church, get into the world system, thinking that the world system is going to make them happy. And when they realize it's not making them happy, now they're turning on the church and lying about the church, and so much deception. My heart breaks for that, because Sam and Jane, Pastor Sam and Jane, and all the leaders of the church, all the other pastors and their wives or their husbands, they just love. I've never seen so much God kind of love that they produce. One thing, I have an aunt who's a born again nun, and she literally walks in the fruit of the Spirit. And the second person that I see, and I see a lot of people in Word of Faith, they literally walk in the fruit of the Spirit. They have so much love for each other, and especially the children, how they just love their pastors and their leadership, and it's just one big family. Now, I call it, even though it is a church, but it's also a ministry. They are there to help people to get healed, delivered, and it's just wonderful. People from all the world come to Word of Faith, and they get blessed by the ministry, and I'm so grateful that they've been part of my life here in Minneapolis. And um, so I want to just say thank you to Word of Faith for being there during this hard time here in Minneapolis. I want to just say I'm very grateful and thankful that you guys are a part of my life. So God bless you. Thank you.